Blessing and holy enough love to you all. Welcome to Deep Dive Globally Changing Life. I'm going to pass it over to Queen Mama McCormick. Over to you.
Thank you, Sister Dr. Patience. Good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon to all our viewers, those on YouTube and who will be viewing in the future. Welcome to Deep Dive. And today is January 25th, Thursday, January 25th, 2024. We are so honored and blessed to be here today. And in Deep Dive, we're going to start our webinar officially today with a regular signature tune by one of our global ambassadors in the name of Lerato Shadare. And we're calling on Queen Sister Dr. Patience to play that tune for us. And please pay attention to the special effects because it tells us where we currently are in our ONPASSIVE journey compared to the last time you were here with us. We appreciate you and please stay tuned. Over to your Sister Dr. Patience.
We are here, we are on passive. Your next stop is ONPASSIVE.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Thank you so much, Sister Dr. Patience. We appreciate that very, very much. Yes, we definitely are in it to win it. Thank you, Sister Larato Shadari, as well. We're going to move to the next segment of the webinar, which is the mindset. We know where we are. This is home. And in this home, we have our foundation. And that foundation is built on a solid rock. That solid rock is the mindset. If you are in the right mindset, you can move mountains with either your thoughts, your words, and what you share with others. So in our ONPASSIVE journey, our CEO has promised us a physical which we know is down the road, at the corner lurking and waiting for us. And we have to work on our own mental mindset. And for tonight, we have our wonderful, lovely Queen JW. Queen Sister Jacqueline is going to share the mindset with us today. And we know who she is. She is someone that has been with us. We know her, but just in case some people do not know who she is, she's going to talk to us about the tips of healthy lifestyle, something which she talked to us about last week, and she's continuing that today. Queen JW is an inspirational speaker. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mother and a grandmother, and she's somebody who is here with us on a regular basis to inspire us and put us at ease with the mindset. Please, without further ado, let's welcome Queen JW as she's here to share about the tips of healthy lifestyle for us today on Deep Dive. Thank you. Queen JW, we appreciate you and we thank you. The microphone is yours.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much, Queen Debbie, for that introduction. Thank you. Thank you for being the host with the most. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for being there for each and every one of us. And I just want to thank the other leaders, Dr. Patience, for jumping in there and taking control and doing such a great job of covering Deep Dive for Dr. Derek, and just want to thank Dr. Derek for allowing us to be on this platform so we can voice our opinion, we can share our views and our thoughts, and also learn most of all. And yes, and I just want to thank the brand ambassadors for showing up, because success is 95% of showing up. And I want to thank Dr. T, for always filling our minds, our souls, and our hearts with her inspiration, her motivation, and knowledge and wisdom that she shared with us every Tuesday. And yes, of course, my name is Jacqueline Warner, better known as JW. And yet I love motivating, and I love just bringing real talk to people, Tonight, yes, I'm going to be continuing, because this topic of a lifestyle is just not, it's not simple. And we have been brainwashed, and we have not been taught the correct foods to eat, even though I think the CDC has has a primate of the foods that we should eat, but most of those foods are hybrid. And because we are electrical beings, we need to fill our bodies with electrical food. And when I mean electrical food, I mean food that is alive, not food that is dead. And I learned that from the late Dr. Sebi, that we are electrical beings, and we don't need, sometimes we go and eat foods that not right for our bodies, but we eat it and then we get sick. And some of us don't even know that it's making us sick, because we don't have radioactive eyes to look inside our body and see what's going on. But if we feed our bodies what it really needs, then we won't have to worry about type 2 diabetes. We don't have to worry about cancer. We don't have to worry about high blood pressure and heart disease and all the complication that comes from eating unhealthy. Better yet, making unhealthy choices. Because that's what the lifestyle starts with. It starts by making a choice, and the choice is not by force. Each and every one of us is responsible for making that choice. Your mother cannot make it for you. Your father cannot make it for you. The system definitely is not going to make it for you. So it's up to you to make that choice to say, hey, do I want to continue and just reap havoc upon my entire system, that I will not be able to enjoy the apples when they come? And what makes it so bad that our Heavenly Father specifically, and that's what, I have to always go back to that he gave us the foundation, and food is the foundation, not supplements. Supplements is not, okay, I'm going to supplement it because, I don't have time to fix those meals, or I just could throw a meal in the microwave, which is no good. You're eating dead food. Eat what's alive and live. And that's where we have to start. That's where we have to make that choice, because the food that we eat, it starts at the cell. And if we don't put the right stuff, because our cells rebuild themselves, there's so many, it's billions and trillions of cells in our body, and it's taking place every day, every second. And so we don't know, we can't even imagine what's going on in our system. We can't even imagine it. So much things is going on. And we don't realize it till our engine light comes on. And sometimes we don't pay our engine light no attention, and all of a sudden we end up in the ER. It is almost like Monopoly. You don't pass go, you go straight there. You don't collect the $200 or anything like that. You go straight to the ER. And that's not where we want to be. And so tonight I will be sharing those. It's 11 tips, but I'm just going to share 5. And it's all start by healthy habits, choosing healthy habits. It's just saying, if you know A is bad, well, let me do B. And we all have choices, and never put money. Our CEO talks about, don't let the focus be money. And when it comes to your health, let it not be money. Because if you don't take care of ourselves, then yes, we're going to spend a whole lot. And sometimes it end up, after your insurance, it end up in your savings. A matter of fact, some people don't even make it to enjoy their money because of their health. People are leaving this planet by the seconds every day. Every day you hear somebody, more than one person is dying, maybe 20 or 30, maybe thousands are dying in one day. And some of them are sick, and some of them don't even know they're sick, because we're time bombs. And some of us don't realize it. So we got to start by making good, healthy choices. And the first tip is actually the first thing: water. Not sodas, not those energy drinks, not those sports drinks, but water. And not any kind of water. Definitely not purified water. Because a matter of fact, sometimes we don't even know where the water is coming from. But that's the first tip, that water. And I know you have heard it before, but tonight I'm talking about it again, because sometimes we forget to drink the water. And I'm not saying only water. You can drink teas throughout the day, herbal teas, and the right teas, just not any kind of tea. Green tea is very good because it detoxes. So green tea, and there's many more teas, but it's starting with water. You could do your spring water. If you can't, in the plastic bottles is no good. Even though I said some plastic bottles I read years ago has to be very flexible, not the stiff plastic, not the hard plastic. But sometimes these things are stored in very hot places, and that is a problem within itself. So we don't know how the storage is. All we know is on the shelf. And we just pick it up because it's water. But even that you have to be careful of. So I know Dr. CB recommends spring water. If you could get it in your in a glass bottle is even more better. But if you can't, buy the filter to your pipe, to your faucet. Put a filter on there. Or filter, if you can afford it, put a filter on the outside. Put a filter under the sink. Filter the water. Back in the days, I remember my grandmother boiling water. Boiling the water first before we use it. You know? So water, and what you can do with your water, if you don't want it, some people go and they have to buy this flavor water. Why spend your money? There's unhealthy sugars and man-made sugars. Some might say made with cane sugar, but a lot of things we can't even trust anymore. Because to me, if you know it was the right thing to use, why not use it in the beginning? Why all of a sudden everybody's jumping on the bandwagon? Hey, I'm using cane sugar now, and I'm doing this now. I'm becoming organic, and they confuse you and they make you not able to trust the system any longer, which we shouldn't anyway. But take ownership of your own life. Be in control of it. Don't wait till you go to the hospital, because you won't have control there whatsoever. I have seen people laying in the bed and they have lost all control because they're so sick they can't even say don't do this or don't do that. And you don't want to be in there. So do that water. That water is so important. And you can do smoothies. All these things can implement that is liquid and not healthy liquids, because those things, beverage intake, a study done and published by the Nutrients concluded that the largest source of added sugars in American diets comes from soda and energy drinks and sports drinks. So that's telling us right there, stay away from those drinks. If you can't get a bottle of water and put a lime in it, or put some strawberries, real strawberries, that's, infuse it so it could taste. If you want a fruitful tasting water, do it yourself. We get caught up in convenience, and convenience kills. Convenience can be good and bad, just like our Heavenly Father said, there's good and bad in everything. And why are we taking a chance on the only vessel that we have? You can look around you and see your friends and colleagues suffering. And some of them, we know they have lost their loved ones and so forth. Let's make healthy choices. You can drink spring water or filter water in a glass or stainless steel bottle or container. Don't put your water in plastic containers. Invest in a stainless steel cup, and put your water in there. If you don't want to walk around with that plastic bottle, transfer it. I'm not sure how healthy it is, but you can test your waters to see if they're acidic. That's another thing. Some of the waters, a lot of them, Fuji and all of them, so they can be very acidic. Anything that's a 6 is acidic. And then when you put that acidic water into your system, you are destroying your system. It becomes more acidic, and disease lives in acidic bodies. You can do vegetable juice, start your day with vitamins and minerals in a rich vegetable juice. And it could be a beet juice. It could be a tomato juice. Go back to those things that we used to do before. Some of us used to do these things before. But convenience, the next one is eating nuts and cereals, healthy nuts and cereals. And the best way to eat your nuts is in the raw state, not roasted. They already destroy some of the nutrients if they are roasted. Eat them raw. You know, you can, from cashews, you can make your own milk. Pecans, you can make them as meat by soaking them and then blending them and putting them aside and let them stand. You can make tacos out of that. So it's so much healthy things that we can eat. And if we keep on saying, you know, it's too expensive, well, it's going to be it is expensive to when you die also. And you still have to buy the bad food. So why buy bad food? Is you signing your death certificate. Nuts is a good healthy snack. So when you get hungry, even in the from between, like I would say 7:30, 8:30 in the evening, when you feel a little hungry, get a couple of nuts, and not peanuts. Peanuts is a no-no. Okay, those are not healthy whatsoever. But almonds and pecans and a lot of them. Nuts are also rich in fiber, okay, and protein. Because so that don't mean you have to eat meat to get your protein. You can get your protein from the nuts that you eat, and you can get healthy fats. You know, so don't think you're not going to gain weight because you're not eating all this other stuff. You're still going to gain weight because you're eating healthy fat. So you have to do things in moderation, no matter good or bad. Okay, so don't think, oh, I'm going to lose weight. No, you're going to gain healthy weight, and you're going to lose that unhealthy weight, because when you eat unhealthy, you gain unhealthy weight, and then that's the weight that's hard to get rid of. Okay, does healthy snack replace potato chips? You know, and all those processed cookies and all those other the aisle, when you walk down that aisle, is a whole foot long, you know, from one end to the next end of junk. And yet, yes, they might have some healthy stuff in there, but you have to read. Even me, who read labels, at times overlook certain things. And daughter will come behind me, mommy, that is not completely clean. 7 ingredients, the most. Anything with more than 7 ingredients, leave it on the shelf. Nuts fill your body with energy. You know, so you will have energy to carry out your tasks for the day, for that whole entire day. You won't feel drained and tired, and sometimes brain fog, you know, because we're not eating healthy snacks. As soon as you have a unhealthy snack, you already, it takes you up, and before you know it, you're feeling sleepy and tired because it's unhealthy. Or you eat a meal and you're ready to lay down. When you eat the foods that the body needs, the electrical foods that the body needs, it's energized, it's not bloated, it's not tired, it's ready to go some more. So these benefits of eating healthy nuts: it decreases unhealthy weight gain, it prevents type 2 diabetes. So those are the things you want to prevent. You want a healthy life. You want to enjoy the apples. You want to enjoy your children. You want to help build a legacy, help Ashmafara uplift humanity. So you got to do what is good for you and your family. And it starts with the food that you put in. Because what you put in is what you're going to get, what's going to come out. And sometimes we don't like that, the output. Also, the cereals. Don't give your kids Fruit Loops and how do you call them? Cheerios and Frosted Flakes and Fruity Petals. Those are unhealthy. And they make those things to attract your children, draw them in. Hey, mommy, cookies and cream, can I have that? No. And you have to teach your children now, not that I don't want you to have it, baby, but it's unhealthy. But this one over here is much healthier. Let's do that. And you can make the cereals, the kamut and the Kamarat and all those and the Amarat, all those kind of different cereals and the millet. You can make them and you can dress them up. You can add blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, peaches, and you can make it to the exciting so the kids can love it. You just don't make the millet and put it in front of them plain. You got to dress it up. You got to be creative. Just when you're preparing your meals, you have to make them vibrant and colorful. So they look advertising and they make you want to eat them and you feel good eating them. So throw them cereals that's unhealthy for your kids, that cause probably hypertension, and don't talk about what else, because as soon as the kids can't keep still in school, you know what they say. They need to be evaluated. They need to go to special classes. They need to take this medication. And sometimes we as parents don't say, hold up, wait a minute, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to get it right. I remember when I went to the doctor and the doctor said, Miss Warner, your cholesterol is high. She said, do you want me to put you on medication? I was so glad that doctor was so considerate, thought of me first. I said, no, thank you. I will fix it. And that's when I started paying attention to the cholesterol things that had a lot of cholesterol in them. So you look for things that say zero cholesterol, because sometimes our body already produces cholesterol. So we don't want to overload it with cholesterol, clogging our arteries, causing other problems. Oxygen can't get to our brain, can't get to the areas in our body. Poor circulation start happening. You start cramping. You start getting all of these issues. It all starts from the food we put in our bodies. So whole grains are carbohydrates. They're also protein, and they're filled with B vitamins. Now, you don't want to put things that is good like that in your body, something that says, oh, you're gonna give me energy. You see so much people walking around and they say, I'm so drained. They get up and they come into work and are already drained, and the day they have not even started as yet. So how are they going to make it throughout their day? They're going to be going to the coffee machine over and over again, trying to stay up because they're tired. It should not be that way. You should be drinking a herbal tea. If you know metabolic, there's good coffees out there. You have to research. Take something that's good. Why fill your body with caffeine? That is not healthy. Even sodas, full of caffeine. We don't need that. We're destroying ourselves. Number 3, healthy fats. Now, a fat is essential, definitely. It's a micronutrient. In 2020 to 2025, dietary guidelines for America state that we will need fat and fatty acids in our diet. So not all fats are the same. A study done by the Nutrient stated that we should keep our consumption of saturated fats intake less than 10% of our daily calories, which can prevent intestinal inflammation, cancer, and high blood pressure. Now, a lot of people suffer from high blood pressure, but they don't know where it's coming from. And they take one pill behind, then it's not working. They get another pill. And if that don't work, they just keep on. Before you know it, your kidneys, everything is breaking down. Everything is breaking down, and you're still not getting to the root of the problem. The root is the problem is the foods you're eating and you're putting into your body. And those unhealthy fats, what is unhealthy fat? Unhealthy fat is any fat that you put it in room temperature and it's solid, hard. That's not a good fat for you to be putting in your system. You need a fat that at room temperature, it will stay liquefied. Now, olive oil is a great cold press, extra virgin. We mentioned that on Tuesday a little bit. Dr. Patience shared some of that with us. But so that's a good oil, and in a dark bottle, not a bottle exposed to light. If you could get it in a glass bottle, is the best way to get it, and it must be cold pressed. grapeseed oil, some sunflower oil, as long as it's cold pressed, okay? And olive oil is not to use on high temperature. It's for sauteing or adding to your salads or even to little, remedies that you may use the olive oil. You can even drink it on a daily basis, a tablespoon or a teaspoon or in the morning. So it's healthy. You can use it on your skin, as a cream. So we don't have to kill ourselves and buy creams, because the skin is the biggest organ on our body, and anything we put on it, it goes inside. And we don't know how we're destroying ourselves. So it was suggested an effective way to cut down on saturated fats is by reducing the fats that are solid at room temperature, and that will be butter, palm oil, rich meats like beef and lamb. They come with a lot of grease. And let me tell you, as soon as it cold, you can see all the fat forming on the meat itself. So that's to tell you, be careful of those fatty red meats. You don't need them. If you want to eat it once in a blue moon, which you shouldn't eat at all, because the body does not recognize animal fat, animal products completely. Okay? So what we should do, we should switch to mono unsaturated fats, which are liquid at room temperature, like sesame oil, cold pressed olive oil, lean meats, which is poultry or fish. Those are the things that you can switch to. And you don't have to drastically go and change. You got to make little steps. Little steps. Every time you could introduce, every week or every other day, introduce something healthy and new into your diet. And before you know it, you will be a pro. You will be making up recipes. You will be looking for recipes. It will be so amazing. You will be feeling so good, so energized, so healthy. Number 4 is get your share of veggies. You must get your share of veggies. And I know a lot of us didn't grow up eating a lot of vegetables. I remember sitting at the table and my mother would put spinach and all those and cauliflower and those. I didn't like them. And we will, as soon as we will open the sliding door and we would take them, boy, and dash them out the door, because we didn't care for those things when we were little kids. But now as an adult, yes, I do love my vegetables, and vegetables play an important role because they are electrifying. And I'm not talking about the ones in the can that's already drowned and full of sodium. No, I'm not talking about those vegetables. We got to get out of that canned stuff. Some of us didn't come from the can. We didn't know anything about the can. And so we got to stick to the things that are healthy for us. Canned goods are not good because they are full of sodium. Now, you could find some of them that they use a different lining inside of the can, and they try to lessen the sodium that they use. If you have to, you will have to read, and you will have to find those in between. But fresh vegetables are the best. And you don't have to eat all of those vegetables. It's in so many of them. There's kale, there's squash, there's zucchini. You can make zucchini fries. You stripped it. It has all these different cut mechanical things that you could use to make so much different designs with these things. And then you could put them, put a little olive oil and put a little sea salt and put it in the oven. Healthy snacks. Don't go and buy Lay's potato chip full of salt, even though that might be a little decent than the rest of them that's on there. So we got to decide. It's a decision. It's a choice. It's not by force, So get your share of veggies, like I said, and the recommended serving by CDC, Centers for Disease and Control, is 1.5 to 2 cups of fruit and 2 to 3 cups of vegetables. Okay? So choosing especially the nutrient-rich dark leafy greens, which are high in folate and fiber. Vegetables come with different texture and taste, which can be intimidating. They can be because the texture and how they taste. But if we just learn how to cook them the correct way, and even some of them eat raw, because then we can really taste the natural flavor of these vegetables and really enjoy them. Stir fry, or steam. Don't go putting a whole bunch of water on your vegetables for them to turn light, or I don't know what that green is, like they're saturated and they're drowned. You want them still firm, so when you bite into them, they give you a little crisp or crunch. That way they're not all the way cooked. You could go, when you go to those expensive restaurants, you see how lightly they steam them, that you'd be like, this thing's still hard, because we so accustomed of boiling them to death because we want them tender. But tender is not they can be tender, but not overcooked. All the nutrients is in the water. You might as well throw away the bean or the whatever you're putting in that pot and drink the water. It will be more nutritious than the vegetable itself. You can blend your veggies. You can make smoothies. You can make a whole meal. You hear Dr. Derek talk about putting his nuts and whatever vegetables and his fruits all in one thing, blend it up, and that's a meal in the morning for you who don't have time. A lot of us got busy schedules and we ain't got time to really fix it. You could fix it from the night before, and if you don't have from the night before, early in the morning, get it done and put it in a stainless steel container, which will keep it cold. You can even take it to the job and before you ready to take it, drink it, take it out of the refrigerator so it could cool a little bit. You don't want it so icy cold, because cold things is not so good for your organs at all. You could use honey, non-dairy yogurt, dairy causes mucus, cheese, and all these things that that taste so good. They are mucus forming, and mucus is the killer of everything. It starts the problem. It starts cancer. It just starts to deteriorate our bodies because we think it all tastes so good. But we don't need dairy. You see the animals, they feed their newborns until maybe 2 or 3 months, and then hasta la vista. That milking stage is over. But we still drinking milk because they say it strengthens our bones when it's deteriorating our bones, because it's pasteurized. And they add in the vitamin D and tell you, it has vitamin D in it. Oh, the orange juice have vitamin C in it because they've been pasteurized. And now they have to act. And you're buying, go get an orange and leave the orange juice there. Don't you see how the acid in it makes it foam up and like it's going to bust, explode on the shelf if they don't remove it in time before it does that? So make meal plans, incorporating specific amount of vegetables into your daily diet. Take a cooking class that is focused on healthy cooking or plant-based. Your local library is a good place to start and get books to learn about it. Even thrift stores. Sometimes you find books that people have thrown away. You could go in there and find books. Social media. The cooking channels. You can learn a lot from the people who live in those forests. They don't have no problems. They don't have no high blood pressure. They don't have no heart disease. And they're eating right from the earth. They're eating things that you were like, they eating that? But they're living long. Nobody is disturbing them. They ain't got no hospital close by. They ain't got no pharmaceutical pharmacies close by and all that going on. They ain't got none of that going on. And they living well. They're not even worried about the frills and the materialistic things that we so caught up in. But we can't get our health together. Come on now. Join a community support horticulture place, a CSA program, which can introduce us to new vegetables, and then you can meet the local farmers and so forth and know exactly who's doing what. Number 5, take care of your gut. Why? Probably Jackie, why you say our gut? Because our gut is made up of trillions of bacteria, virus, and fungi live in our intestinal tract, known as the microbiome. Okay, so the bacteria in our gut influence our digestion, inflammation, and immune health. So when our natural balance, our gut balance, is compromised or experience changes, then it can create a list of inflammatory ailments, which are asthma, obesity, and inflammatory bowel disease. So you see how these foods, by us not making healthy choices, the things that we can put upon ourselves, the health condition that the misery, the anxiety, the burden, the depression, all of these things. Oh my gosh. To me, if I had all that to worry about, I will explode. I wouldn't be able to handle all that. I am so concerned about my health. I'm always trying something. I don't give up when it comes to health. I did it with my children. I tried to feed them to the best of my ability. I always learning, this ain't no good. We throwing that out. We ain't going to eat this. And so we want our children to live a better life than we. That's what it say in the good book, right? They supposed to do better than us. And so we have to start showing them the roadmap of choosing a healthy lifestyle. And it starts with us first. It starts with us first. My little granddaughter, when she go to class, because she eats totally different, healthy, she could sit down and say, oh, they are eating unhealthy, because she is already learning, and she's helping her mother and her father and her sister, her siblings, because she has eczema, so everything has to be specific. She can't have this, she can't have that. So my daughter's always like, what can I fix today? How I can fix this? What don't have this? She even suggested, Mommy, make my honey mustard at home, and when we go to the restaurant, so we can use it there. And she's 4 years old. And she has to do this. It's not, you could say almost it's by force. It was forced to eat to change the diet. It was forced to eat better because of her disorder. So let's make a healthy choice. Let's let it not be by force, in other words. Let it not be by force, because sometimes when things come by force, you're more rebellious. You're mad now. You're angry. But if you make the choice and you take those baby steps to start implementing those healthy habits that are there, we don't have to go and look for them. We don't need nobody to tell us about them. We just need to know that we got to start taking our time, research, read our labels, because the stuff is genetically modified, our vegetables, and it tells you on the box. So if you ain't read and you get sick, and you now want to sue the company or so forth, they're gonna say, it's real. It was labeled right there on the box. And what, you're gonna look stupid because you didn't read it? You're just picking it up and putting it in your cart? No, read your labels. If we're not supposed to eat meat, stop eat the meat. You might can't do it drastically, but get mushrooms. Portobello mushrooms. You can't just eat any mushroom. So you need to figure out the mushrooms that you can eat. But I know portobello you can eat because Dr. CB, I go by his list of the things that you can eat. You know, go to his website, find out what the list is. You know, I could put something in the chat. It also has this doctor. His name is Dr. Colbert. And he said, if you can, that's what he said. He said, Eat This and Live by Dr. Colbert. You can find that book on Amazon. Okay, you might be able to find it in your local library also, or an ebook online. So get that book because it will be a guide. Get Dr. CB list. It will help you. It's just a list telling you of all the things you can eat. The reason some of the things are hybrid is because we don't know how they come about making them. Seedless grapes. I don't know how you can make a grape without a seed. When I eat my grape with a seed and I throw it in the dirt, you can see it starts to grow. So the ones without a seed, I don't know. That means you will not be getting no grapes. You will not be able to reproduce, you know. So you're going to say these grapes are barren? You know, lemons without seed. So they are barren? How did they come about? You know, Dr. CB didn't get the chance to turn those hybrid things into electrical foods for us to eat. He was taken a little too early. But besides that, we have that list. And we have many other doctors that's coming out of the woodwork now and saying, hey, this is the right way. And you just got to be careful on the information you receive. Investigate. So I'm going to wrap it up. You know, like I said, those was the 5 tips. Then water was number 1. Eating nuts, healthy nuts in a raw state. Not no roasted. Don't get no roasted almonds. Don't get no roasted cashews. Get it in the raw state. You will enjoy it better. It will be much healthier. You will get the energy that you need. You will get the protein. You will be your body will accept it and enjoy it. Eating healthy fats. You know, choosing cold pressed olive oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, not no butter. You know, that's solid. And palm oil, those are solid, so they are not any good. So do make the switch. And grapeseed oil is awesome. You know, I cook in it, and I even fry my plantains, and it's not greasy. It don't go into the food and be soggy and nasty and full of grease. So I use that. I use olive oil. I drink it too. So use your, healthy fats. Get your vegetables in there and your fruits, and especially those green leafy vegetables, kale, collard greens, turnips, all those. I don't remember Dr. CB mentioning collard greens, but he definitely mentioned kale and turnips and many more vegetables that you can do. And 5, take care of your gut, because everything sometimes starts right there in that gut. It gives us so much problems. Your colon and all that stuff is attached, and colon cancer and all these things come about, type diabetes, heart disease. We want to eliminate those things from our life, and we want to eliminate them from our children's life and generations to come, so we can truly enjoy and help Mr. Ashmafara to uplift humanity. So I thank you for your listening ear, and thank you again. Hope this was beneficial and value to each and every one of you. Back to you, Queen Debbie.
Wow, Queen JW just unleashed something, right? Wow, Queen JW, you unleashed those 5 items. We're so honored and blessed to have you, not just having you, but listen to all the various healthy tips you have for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for your dedication, not just today, not just last week, not just last year, but the previous times that you're always here and enhancing our lives by training us on how to handle our mindsets, the healthy lifestyle. We appreciate you very much. All right. Everyone, I hope you listened to her and you were able to make notes and take notes while she's having a drink of water. Please, this is the right time to start raising your questions, make notes, and ask your questions. And as you're preparing to ask your questions, I was making my own notes for her. And if she's ready, I will have to ask for if I don't see any, I'll give I'm going to pass the microphone over to those who have questions for Queen JW, and then it will come back to me later on. So if you had any questions while listening to Queen JW's presentation, that awesome presentation, this is the right time to go ahead and either raise your hand, your virtual hand, or, oh yes, Queen Sharon Whedon, Canada is in the house. Queen Sharon, I'll let you go ahead, please. Queen Sharon.
Hello, 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 Sister Debbie. Thank you
Happy
so
New Year.
much. Happy New Year. Thank you. It's nice to be here. Sharon Whedon from Canada. Sister Jacqueline, you nailed it. You talked about everything and anything, everything food-wise. It is very, very, very hard these days to stay healthy. It's very hard between the prices of food and the things that we need to keep us healthy is no longer the case because as you talked about the GMO products, well, the government has I blame it on the government. The government has notified the people that are putting GMO in their food, and they changed the name. I can't remember what it's called. When you were talking, I'm like, what was the name that they changed on the package? So that they're trying to trick you to eat it. And I don't know if you heard, but they're making food that is supposed to last for forever, basically. Like I mean, I bought a couple of bananas, and they were supposed to be organic bananas, and they're supposed to be like there's numbers on them, and you're supposed to look at 9. If it starts with a 9, it's supposed to be organic. But now the organic people are tricking you, so you got to be careful, and you got to really trust who you're buying your food from, because those bananas they sat for 2 weeks in my house, and they went from green to black.
Ooh.
And that was just disgusting. And then I think it was last year, I think it was, or the year before, I bought a green pepper. And every time I cooked the green pepper, you want to cook some meat or whatever, you saute or rice or whatever, you saute the onions and the green pepper together. And ask me if this green pepper, like when I put it in the pan, was popping like popcorn. I'm like, what the heck? And so I didn't know what was going on there. So the next time I cooked it, it did the same thing. I'm like, no, wait. There's something wrong with this. So I cut a big piece off and I stuck it in the frying pan, and it popped like popcorn again. And then I seen why it was popping. It was popping because it was coated in plastic. And they're doing that to our vegetables and our fruit. If you scrape that plastic off and put it on a plate and you light it up, it just burns. It's disgusting. Oh. So I am very health conscious, and I've always, tried to look at naturopath medicines and stuff like that. But even our vitamins, they're even putting GMO in your vitamins. It's disgusting. The GMO is like everywhere. And so you got to look for something that says no GMO. And people that eat chicken, I know a lot of people love their chicken. And when you buy chicken these days, you got to be careful. So when you buy chicken, and people think, buy free range chicken, because free range chicken is supposed to be better for you. But they can have a cage, like a cage that is very, very small, like a dog's cage, and call that free range chicken. So you got to be careful. And I learned that from a documentary that I just watched. It's called You Are What You Eat. I think it's on Netflix. I'm not positive, but it's called You Are What You Eat. And it's a great documentary. They took twins and like identical twins, and they gave them two different diets. They gave one a plant-based diet and they gave one a carnivore diet. And then they weighed them in and they checked them every week and they gave them exercise and stuff like that. And what I learned about plant-based food is that a lot of people just try to eat the normal serving. Well, with the plant-based meal, you got to eat almost double in order to get the fats that you need and in order to build muscle. So if anyone is interested, you should check that out. But I learned a lot about meat from that documentary. I was just so disgusted. Like, it just turned me off meat for forever. Well, I can't say forever because I'm still trying but you know, I cut down my meat thing, and I have like 3 days a week I don't eat meat. But it's really, 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 really hard. Last year, I've never been so sick in all my life. Last year, I was sick almost every other month. I was sick with some kind of stupid bug or virus that was going on. And I blame it on the food and the vitamins, because we're not getting our nutrition value from our foods and our vitamins. And so if you can, you should try to grow your own fruits and vegetables, because at least you know what you're growing. And at least you're not going to get stuff that's covered in plastic and stuff. It's at the point with me now that if I go shopping and I don't trust the store that I'm buying my fruit from, and that I won't buy certain things. I grew my own green ball peppers last year. I did green, red, yellow, orange, like all the colors. I grew them. And every year I'm going to try to grow more and more. I grew my own onions last year. Grow your own if you can. Unfortunately, I live in Canada, so I only have like a couple months out of the year that, you know, we can actually grow food outside. But when I get my ONPASSIVE dollars, I am going to hopefully be able to afford a house and have a greenhouse and be able to grow vegetables all year around. And I try to drink like a smoothie. And also, I've been drinking, because I think it was Sister Debbie, and I know for sure Dr. Derek was drinking cinnamon and turmeric. I think twice a day. I think Dr. Derek said he drinks it in the morning and he drinks it at night. Well, ever since that webinar, I've been drinking it too. And I don't have a juicer, so I just bought my first raw ginger and raw turmeric. I did the powder thing, which is not as nutrition value. It's fresh, of course, but it's still better than nothing, and it still worked. It still gave me that boost that I needed to boost my immune system. And I tried to drink every morning. I drink a hot water with lemon in it. But even the water, like, I don't know about where you guys are at, but even our water is no good in Canada, and I'm pretty sure it's like that in a lot of places. There's a lot of fluoride in the water. So you have to find a good source of water, and I drink bottled water, and a source that I trust at the moment, because I've been fooled before. Like, you know, it's just very, very, very hard, Sister Jacqueline, to stay healthy and to eat healthy and to get all the nutrition value you need to stay healthy. And I learned about the gut thing. You were talking about the gut thing, how your gut, you need to be careful. You know, you have to make sure you take care of your gut, because there's a lot of bacteria buildup and a lot of crap that goes into your gut. And I learned that about 5-6 years ago, and at a naturopath place. And I'm like, what do you need that? I don't know. And mushrooms is another thing you were talking about. I know mushrooms is supposed to be really, really good for you and that, but I do not like mushrooms whatsoever. And years ago, I said, okay, I heard about how good mushrooms are and you're supposed to eat it, and I can't. So I thought I would buy, so in a pill form of mushrooms or whatever at my natural pathway. But they want like $150 for one bottle, which naturopath is expensive, and I know that, and it's worth it because it's good for you and it's good for your health. I haven't got there yet because just the thought of putting a mushroom in my mouth kind of bothers me, but I think that's all I have to say right now. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Sister Jacqueline. And what a great mindset.
Thank you, Queen Sharon. You just take baby steps, Queen Sharon. Just baby steps. Don't try to overwhelm. Don't do it that way at all. Everything is baby steps. Everything we do in life, the baby had to crawl before it can walk. So we got to take little steps, implement one thing at a time. One thing. If you could do two, do two. It's not easy, but it's neither is it hard.
It's not. It's very, very hard, especially if you're a picky eater like me.
Bad foods that's out there, but we have to take the good out of the bad. And even if you eat one thing, there's so many different ways that you can eat it. You just start out small, and you will learn different techniques and different recipes to make that same one thing or two things, but you will be more healthier, and you will be stress-free, and you will be healthy. Most of all, you will have energy, and you will gain longevity, and your lifespan will increase. So you got to look at the benefits.
This is true. And you were talking about vegetables, soft vegetables. Well, I did not realize, I didn't eat a lot of cooked vegetables when I was a kid. And I can't remember how old I was when I got some kind of takeout from someplace, and I ate all the vegetables and stuff, and I realized that my mom was overcooking them, and I felt really bad. I told her that, and because she was just like, "Oh, you never eat my stuff." She didn't stop cooking them the way she cooked them, mind you. You can't tell now that you can't eat that. They're not cooking something right. But yeah, with cooked carrots and stuff like that, I learned how to cook stuff myself that's crispy and crunchy. The only thing is my long green beans. My long green beans, I don't know. Out of all the vegetables, that's the only thing that I still like soft.
And that's okay.
But everything else, I don't cook it all the way, and I eat a lot of raw stuff, especially if I'm growing like snow peas or something in my garden. I'll just pick them right off the vine, off the fence, and I just eat them. They don't even make it into the house.
Yep, and that's good. It's so nutritious. You don't know the nutritious value that comes just from eating the peas right out of the shell.
And chips, well, I'm not a big chip eater. I'm not a big junk food eater, period. Like, I don't do a lot of sugar and stuff like that. Christmas time, everybody's giving you sugar and that. And because I'm like 95 pounds soaking wet, everybody's always trying to fatten me up. So they're always giving me cakes and pastries and this and that. And I'm just like, I can't eat all that. I don't eat all that. And so I don't even like it in my house. But every once in a while, I like to have a bag of chips. And but I don't I don't eat chips all the time and that. So it's like a real treat for me. And it's because of the salt.
Yeah. You could make kale chips. You could cut up your kale and dry it and put it in the oven, put a little olive oil on it and and it turns into chips, crispy chips.
Yes. Kale chips. Beet chips are nice too. I haven't made them myself, but I like beet chips.
Yep. All those things we can do. Because what happened when you go to the restaurant, you see they're coming out with all these ideas that you yourself had, and they're making money. So why don't you, be creative for yourself and make these things and introduce them to your family?
And people that drink milk, you got to be careful with the milk because even the milk has GMO in it, and they're giving the cows GMO to produce more milk faster. So even, and there's some whistleblower, some farmer the other day, I put out a video about that. And on social media, there's so much information on social media because of our food's poison. And that they teach you how to grow your own stuff, and which is really great and really helpful to do. And like I said, I'm a very, very picky eater, so it's so hard when I hear a mindset like today, or many times on here we have had different mindsets about food and stuff. And I remember the first time Dr. Derek started talking, and it's like, and he was like, "You can't eat this, you don't eat that, don't eat." And I'm just like, okay, well, kill me now. What am I supposed to eat?
Thank you so much, Queen Sharon. We truly appreciate your feedback today.
Thank you, Sister Debbie, for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. We appreciate you so much. I just wanted to interject just in case somebody else had a comment or
no problem.
or an observation from Queen JW's presentation. I'm sorry, it's not because we don't love listening to you, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone who listened had the opportunity to speak, because we have so many people that we haven't had in a very long time. I see Brother Gianna signing in. I see you as well as, let me see who else. Queen Alberta, as well as Brother Ian McFarlane. A lot of people who haven't been with us for a while. So I'm sure they all have, if they listen to Queen JW about the healthy eating, they may have input, questions, or observations. But before I pass it over to anyone else, Queen JW, based on what you said, your presentation, you mentioned something, a lot of positive things, but I didn't hear anything positive about palm oil. And I know that a lot of Asians and West and Central Africans use 95% palm oil in a lot of meals that they prepare and eat. And everyone is very healthy. I'm one of those because that's how I grew up. And currently, just in case some people may not know, crepes, or what the British call it crepes, but in America they give it a different name. You have margarine or broad margarine or whatever the other names are. The Asians call it ghee. A lot of things, vegan cheese, and a lot of that. They use palm oil base. Ice creams are made. Some ice creams are made with palm oil, and you also have bleached palm oil they mix it up with a vegan olive oil that people talk about. You use olive oil and bleached palm oil to make something, and they sell it back to us. A lot of products out there have palm oil. So what you're telling me is we have to look into every single item that has palm oil, and you eliminate, and you only take what has sesame oil because it's from Asia, because the weather of where we live determines what we grow. And we cannot, unfortunately, we cannot grow apples in the tropical areas.
No.
So we cannot pretend we know how to grow apples. We have to grow what the soil, what Mother Nature gives us. So what do you tell your viewers, our viewers, how to handle palm oil? Because I will not say 100% do not use palm oil. I'm not going to say that. I will not endorse 100% sunflower oil or sesame oil or olive oil in lieu of palm oil, because it depends on where you are. So I am not a healthy researcher, so I want to put that back onto your plate. Queen JW.
Yes.
Thank you.
We was talking regarding healthy fats. It so happened to probably fall under unhealthy fats only because of the solid form that it takes. That's the only reason. You still can eat it. I mean, I see it in a lot of products, just like you every time I read a product, I see palm oil, I see ghee and those things. But because I go by the Dr. CB list, and that list does not, okay, in Africa, maybe they make their own palm oil. We don't know where these other palm oils could be coming from that might not be good. You know, I don't know how I never used palm oil before, but I do see products have it in it. When I see a product that doesn't have, that's only for me. That's not for the rest of you, because everybody has to make a choice. But if it doesn't bother you and you don't feel, you don't have no effects from eating the palm oil, that's fine. But it named it as unhealthy fat, only as an unhealthy fat, and they separated it. Not me per se is unhealthy, but that's what the study is showing, that these fats that form a solid, even butter, we got good butter and we got bad butter, but even butter falls in that category. And I still use butter, you know, but I know it's an unhealthy fat, but is about it. It's an unhealthy fat. That don't mean all I'm going to consume. We can consume what's bad, but we got to make sure that we got it. And that's what I'm going to come with: detoxification. Okay, yes, you could have the palm oil, but are we cleaning out? A lot of our people back then, our ancestors, they used to clean their body out. We don't clean our body out like we should, by drinking different herbs and so forth, and cleansing the body of all these things that can clog our arteries. You might not suffer the consequences now, and maybe the little bit of palm oil is very little. And a lot of these things don't show effect till we get up in our 60s and 80s and start getting ailments, you know? So I'm not saying that palm oil is bad. It's an unhealthy fat. Okay, so you can take it, you can decide if you want to use it or not. In Africa, that's something they use mainly. But like you said, is the region you're in, these people are very active, so it might not affect them like someone who live here in the northern hemisphere. You know, it might not, remember, it's solid already. And this atmosphere might not call for people to eat a lot of palm oil, but in Africa, they probably can. It's a whole different atmosphere. Where did the palm oil come from? Where did it originated from? What is it? And so you have to investigate to find out more in reference to the palm oil. But I'm just saying it's an unhealthy fat because it forms it becomes solid. And so if it becomes solid on the outside at room temperature, definitely it's solid inside the body also.
Thank you so much.
Can I say something, please? As I said, this platform, we're not medical doctor, we're not prescribing anything. But if anybody knows recently, yeah, people were actually taking palm oil to drink it because it's very rich in antioxidant. That's one of it has vitamin E. It helps to slow down heart diseases. Palm oil, if you're doing cooking, is good for high heat cooking. Palm oil, recently they realized, remember, palm oil is coming from a fruit, the palm fruit. That's where it's coming from. All this vegetable oil, somebody said, have you ever taken your vegetable and squeezed and see how much oil comes from it? The palm oil, the fruit is all oil. It's coming from a fruit, the palm fruit from Africa. So palm oil, let's not go about it. Read about the benefits of palm oil yourself. That's why a lot of people start putting in their products, all this cheap scale that you're talking about. And at one point, people started taking 1 tablespoon of palm oil and drinking it because it helped to slow heart disease. So, as you said, remember, Eat what is in season where you are living. Eat what is in season. Mama Debbie, you make a good point there.
Yep.
Eat what is in season. Yes, I think where this is Queen JW you're coming from is palm oil too can increase the cholesterol level. I think that's why they're trying to, but it decreases bad cholesterol, or that might raise it. So just eat where you eat what is in the season where you're coming from.
Yeah. And eat in moderation.
Yes, and eat every oil you should eat in moderation. The problem we had back home for palm oil is that we're putting a lot in food, and people have learned to put a little because it's coming from a fruit. So eat in moderation. It has a seed. You squeeze it, get the seed out. Everything in moderation. The problem we have here in the West, we have oil that are manufactured. And somebody asked me, have you ever taken your vegetable cookie, try to see how much oil will come out of it? Vegetable oil. I started making me thinking, right? Okay, corn has oil. Maybe corn oil might make sense. Olive is oily. Maybe olive oil might make sense. So we have to start thinking. Vegetable oil, how much oil can you squeeze in a vegetable to have a liter, 2 liters that will go and buy? That makes me start thinking. But if you know the palm fruit is all oil. So eat in moderation, eat what is in season where you are. If you can get that, that is the best. Because out of season, anything is preserved. Yeah. And unfortunately, because of the mass, we have to preserve food to feed the mass. But Queen JW, you said something. Our gut health and microbiome is very important. Majority of the diseases comes from our gut. That's the truth. Majority of any condition, any element that we get comes from our gut. If our gut can be balanced, our microbiome can be balanced. Typically, if you can balance your microbiome, you can see a lot of things that you're suffering will be eliminated. That's the truth. Majority of it comes from our gut. And that's why somebody comes and says, I'm having all of this. I said, check your gut biome. If you can get your gut stabilized, and that's why antibiotic, a lot of it is not good for you because it messes up your gut, right? You said that before too. It kills our gut carries bacteria, so good bacteria. You need the good bacteria to help you with everything else. And just everybody's body is different. Some people cannot eat raw. Some people cannot digest raw. Raw is better, but some people cannot digest raw. Yeah. And so what they say, just steam it a bit. If you cannot digest raw, don't overcook it. And I just say you saute or you just put it in hot water and take it out. It will help to reduce the enzyme that your body cannot digest. So go with your body, eat fruits that is in season. Wherever you go anywhere, try to see what they produce locally. As Mama Debbie said, yes, we cannot pretend that we can grow some apples or so on in Africa. But I see people like there's a state in Nigeria that they found the temperature they're growing apple there. So if you can find what is grown locally, it's always best for you. And of course, if you can grow your own, that's better. So let's just be mindful of what we eat and make sure our gut microbiome is balanced. And exercise. This, thank you, Dr. T and JW on this platform. You keep reminding us.
Thank you.
But it has to be purposefully. I'm saying that to myself. COVID happened and I realized I went off. It looked like I was in a prison. And I woke up one day and I look at myself in the mirror. I did not look like me. So now I have to go back purposely and go back to that healthy patient that her cholesterol was always like this. I had to exercise. I make sure I eat my veggies very healthy. I have to go back to that, right? But we have to do it purposefully. We cannot do it today. They wait for 10 months, we do it again. It has to be purposeful. Oh, where's Dr. Benny? Dr. Benny will say, you've taken my meat. Sharon, well, some of these vegetable-based products out there are all made of stuff. What is vegetable burgers? What's all these made of things? Please, we have to be careful as well. If you don't eat meat, don't eat the burgers. There's nothing like vegetable burgers. A lot of them are plastic. So let's just be purposefully, because we really want to enjoy the apples. We want to go out there in the bushes in Africa or Caribbean or even here in the US. We want to be healthy to do it. Thank you. Great presentation again today. You're keeping us to think. Trust me, when I want to look at that, my pot of chicken and call it vegetable, you'll be ringing my ears. That patient, this is not vegetable. Don't be kidding yourself. This is chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, oh mercy. Thank you, Queen JW.
No problem.
Great presentation again. You're making us to. It's good to have something to reflect on, right? For me, I changed my cooking style a lot. I'm an experimenter and I like to cook. So, but I have to work hard to eliminate some stuff. But you know, the devil is a liar. Every time I'm like, no, I'm just going to eat my mushroom. I'm like Queen Sharon. I said, mushroom, you have to taste like chicken. I said, this tofu, you have to taste like chicken. It doesn't sometimes, but I'm going to try harder. The good thing is I like beans, so I'm trying to get my protein from that. Anyway, let me not rant. I see Queen Nadu's hand is up. About you, Mama comic. Yeah, but palm oil, locally grown, maybe the preservation to bring it, transport it, might be the problem. Try to get things that are locally grown, locally produced. It's always better, less preservative. Thanks.
Thank you, Queen Sister Dr. Patience, and thank you so much, Queen JW. And we're going to move forward with Queen Nadu. Your hand is up. We don't want to lose any hand that's up. Queen Nadu, over to you. And then after that, we'll move to the next topic of the day. Thank you. Over to you, Queen Nadu.
Thank you very much, Dr. Debbie. I want to say thank to Dr. JW. I was so scared when she said that water bottles are dangerous because we used to have the filter from the tap water and we switched to bottles because we were thinking sometimes we forgot to change the filter on time. So we just switched we took it out and we switched to bottles for a while. I didn't know that I was on the right path and I took the wrong one. So it's always good to share stuff with us. The other thing that surprised me was the palm oil. I have a heart procedure a few years ago, and my doctor prescribed some stuff that I need to consume every day. And it was at least 2 spoons of palm oil every day. And when I hear that it was in the unhealthy fat side, I'm like, what? And I'm doing this. I kill myself to go get the palm oil, even if it's expensive, because it's a note of a doctor from the US. Now, my question is because the doctor saw that I'm African that she recommended that, or I don't know, I don't understand.
Dr. Nadu, if you go and do your research, palm oil slows heart attack. Okay, we can read as well. Okay. Yes, and that's why it's moderation. That's why he has a quantity that he's giving you. But research about it, people are actually going out drinking palm oil because it was helping with the heart. But you can research about it. I think Queen JW just all this is moderation, right? If you it is solidified, so they're classifying under saturated fat. I think that's what the problem is.
I mean, the people in the East, they eat a lot of lamb. It's an unhealthy fat that comes from it, but they still eat it. You know what I mean? I have lamb sometimes myself, and I could see when I researched this and then I said, wow, that stuff is really fatty, because my daughter loved lamb, but it's a lot of fat if you don't when it's cold, when it gets room temperature, you can just see the fat forming on top of the meat, so it's just that some fats are good and some fats are bad, but that's just it. It might have some good attributes, and where it comes from, it was made from a fruit, So there's a difference maybe in that palm oil. Maybe it doesn't become solid. Maybe it stay liquefied in room temperature. Then that palm oil is not bad. But the one that is solid, that will be the one that is bad.
Let's just read about palm oil and
thank you very much.
Palm oil alone.
Yeah, let's leave the palm oil alone because they say at room temperature it's solidified that you can use as a spread. So just let's leave the palm oil alone, and people should research. Yeah, it has its good and its bad, but everything has good and positive and negative. You have to look at the quantity and moderation. And then Queen JW, you're right. If I can, I'm trying to get it out of meat because you have really encouraged us to. But if I have to and I can prepare the right way, the lamb, if I make it ahead of time, it cool, I take all the fat out and then I can eat it, it's better. I try to, when I think, make it ahead so it's let it cool so I can take all the fat out and then I can eat without that solidified fat. There are ways to make all of these things work, right? So,
yep.
But if you can stay without it, fine. I have a system that I have a protein deficiency that I cannot really digest carbohydrate, to be honest. And the doctor advised me to eat the meat so I can get my protein from it. Anyway, thank you, Queen Nadu, for that. And since you started doing that, how is your numbers? You go to doctors, what is your lab telling you? I think all this thing is, you look at your numbers, is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Always go back to check up and check ourselves. That will help you to make a good decision for yourself.
Anyway, it's doing better. The results are better than what it was before. So, yep.
And to talk about the bottled water, one thing that most of us don't know, they don't regulate bottled waters. As they regulate your tap water, water that comes through your tap is regulated. So if you can get the filter and filter the excess thing in your water from your tap, that can be better for you. But all this bottled water we buy from store is not regulated. I can say that. That's what I learned in my public health class. And that's when I started doing those filter water in my house. I've not bought bottled water from a long time. I said I have a gathering, okay, to make it easier, buy bottled water. The bottled waters are not regulated here in the US.
All right. Thank you all so much, our wonderful queens and sisters. That was a very healthy discussion about our health today. The presentation by Queen JW. Outstanding, Queen JW.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And for all our viewers, we appreciate you joining. And that was the healthy eating presentation by Queen JW that we just wrapped up. And we are moving to what is your feedback on O Connect.
Oh.
I see that we are 43 of us here, and we signed in for a reason, one or another. We appreciate you being here. And after the mindset, which took longer than usual because it's a very, very heated topic because it concerns our lives, it went longer for good reason. So that's great, isn't it?
Yes.
That's how I will interpret it. So for the next topic about our product O Connect, you heard some of the features from the resound and whatever. So this is where we are right now. If you have anything to say about that, please, this is the right time. And Dr. P, if you have something, please, I'm leaving this over to you because we have so many of our kings and queens and brothers and sisters who haven't been with us for a while. I'm seeing them here today. So I'll pass the microphone to you, Dr. P. And in case you are wondering why Dr. Derek, you're not seeing him or hearing his voice, he is preoccupied with something, but it does not mean he is not here with us. We are here. We're missing him, but he definitely will be with us whenever he's able to. But in the interim, we are here doing what we do best, empowering one another, and we deep dive into what we have to do with ONPASSIVE in our ONPASSIVE journey. So, Dr. P, I'm passing the microphone back to you, sis. Thank you.
Thank you all. This session is a session that we try to hear from our new affiliate, and okay, I see hand is up. Rosella, go ahead. Yourself.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You want to know my feedback on OConnect, my dear ONPASSIVians. I was in there up to 2 o'clock this morning, and it is an amazing website. I was able to add photos. I was able to delete photos. It is so nice. When I click on my, the photo, I got all my Gmail photos came right up in there. So I was able to choose whatever photos I want to add there. Not only that, I went into ONET and I was connected with India. And boy, it was very nice also. I was having conversation back and forth with these people in India, and the website is awesome. It is awesome. When we first started out, I could not add my photo there, and today, I didn't have to think about how to add it. It just comes right up for me. So it is, as what Mr. Hash has said, it is so easy to use, and it is beautiful in there. Awesome. I love it. I couldn't go to bed last night. I was just having fun with it. Okay, and that is my little one.
Thank you very much, Queen Rosanna. We appreciate your observation. And let me see if that's still Queen Rosanna's hand up or someone else's. It seems, okay. Yes, Queen Rosanna, that was still your hand up. Thank you very, very much. I'm just looking to see if there's any other hand. And if not, I'll say back to you, Queen Sister Dr. Patience. If not,
so if there's any new affiliate that you join the ONPASSIVE ecosystem after September 1st, if you can indicate, then that would be great. If not, we can close this section and then we can discuss generally the ecosystem. Somebody wants to, I can share if they want that to be shared. But if you are a new affiliate and you want to learn about OConnect, please indicate. If not, we can stop the recording and we'll go to general Q&A and we can talk about everything that's been happening in ONPASSIVE.
Thank you, Queen Sister Dr. P. Based on what I'm seeing, all the names and the people who are currently with us, the 44 of us here, no one is new. The names that we've been seeing in the past. So I will say thank you to all our YouTube viewers. Thank you for those who will be watching us in the future. We appreciate having you on Deep Dive today. And we meet every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have other sister webinars that we meet on Wednesdays with Julie Pierre on Wednesdays. And on Mondays, we have Engineer Mike Live. And on Sundays, we have Dream Team. So if you missed any of these sessions, you can always catch it up on another time. We appreciate you and we look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now to our YouTube viewers.